everyone, welcome back to Let's Unbound. Yes, we are at 1.5 of this series, concept plus 3-tier problem solving. So 1.5 is all about polynomial functions and complex zeros. As usual, a quick reminder. So if you haven't saved this playlist, do save it now. And also do watch the video from the beginning till the end so that we won't miss out any of the concept, right? So stay tuned and be ready with pen and paper. Here we are moving to polynomial functions and complex zeros. First, what is zeros? Zeros, x-intercepts, linear factors, they are much related. Let's see how. Let P of x be a polynomial function. If P of a is 0, then we can conclude these three things. Polynomial, you are plugging in instead x, you are just giving a number a and it becomes 0. So if a can do make a polynomial 0, that is called a 0 of a polynomial. The name has some connection, right? And that the graph will have an x-intercept. This particular polynomial function's graph will have x-intercept at a comma 0. So this a plays as an important role. Like 0, it is also an x-intercept. Also, you can write as a linear factor using this a, x minus whichever number you use. Okay. So if my p of 2 is 0, x minus 2 is a factor. Okay. And linear factor, if p of minus 10 is a 0, x plus 10 is a factor, because you have to write a factor in x minus a. My a is negative, means it might go like this, a factor. So this is all about zeros, x-intercepts, and linear factors, right? Now, let's move to multiplicity. Multiplicity of a 0. 0 means we are not meaning a number 0 where it crosses x-axis. Which number makes your polynomial 0? Yes, some polynomial has a repeated 0. So we say that 0 has a multiplicity greater than 1. For example, a quadratic function, you can take x squared minus 2x plus 1. If you factorize, you will get x minus 1 into x minus 1. So same 0, same factor, right? So 1, 1, it will just touch the x-axis. So this is called multiplicity, repeated 0. And you can have 10 zeros also. Same, you can get 10 times. Okay, so then it will touch. Whenever you see a multiplicity, it will touch or cross. So we will learn that now. So if a polynomial has a repeated 0, then you can write x minus that 0 power k is a factor of a polynomial. Then r is a 0. This is a 0 and k is multiplicity. And this multiplicity can be odd or even. Okay, it's very simple. What happened when it is odd? When it is odd, the graph crosses x-axis at that odd. Okay, so I got an x minus 3 the whole power 5 means at 3, it should cross the graph. Okay, like it will cut that point and move away. But when k is even, if I put x is like 4, now the multiplicity is even, so it will bounce back. So it comes to 3, then it won't go to the other quadrant, it will just bounce off. Something like this or something like this. Okay, actually this is second one is crossing. So it will be like this. It will bounce off, means it comes to 3, just touches and move away, like bounce back. Okay, don't cross. That's the thing. And complex 0. Yes, zeros can be real and complex. So for this example we can take x squared minus 1 is 0. We can say x is 1 minus 1. If x squared plus 1 is 0, x squared is negative 1, x is equal to plus or minus square root of negative. We know that, right? The square root of negative number is not possible. But we are getting the square root of minus 1 at many places. So we define something new system of numbers, which is complex numbers. So whenever you got this root minus 1, you can put it as I. Okay. So in some case, you can get 5 plus or minus square root of minus 4. You can convert to a complex number. You can't say this is undefined hereafter. So 5 plus or minus square root of 4 times square root of minus 1. And whenever square root minus 1, you can give I. So 5 plus or minus root 4 is 2i. So this is called complex zeros. When you solve some you can't factorize, you won't get a real number. Sometimes you'll get non-real and this complex structure, a real plus an imaginary. This I is called imaginary. So if this complex setup is made up, it's complex 0. Right? Now, theorems based on this. Two important theorems. First is complex conjugate theorem. Your polynomial has real coefficients. Yes, mostly we will deal with real coefficients. And yes, in AP Precalculus. And if a plus bi is a 0, with b not equal to 0. B should not be 0 because if B is 0, it will become a real number. So that's a condition. Your polynomial has real coefficient and you know that A plus BI is a 0, then its conjugate is also a 0. So if you know 2 plus 3i is a 0 of a polynomial, for sure its conjugate means change sign for the imaginary part. 2 minus 3i is also will be a 0. Right? So the complex roots, the complex zeros always occur in pair. And there will be no polynomial having one complex 0. It's either 2, 4, 6, 10. It's always in pair. Okay. Now conjugate pair theorem for irrational roots. Irrational means having surds. Same like this, if you have rational coefficients and there will be no irrational numbers involved. Okay. If you got an irrational root, something like this, a plus root b, then for sure a minus root b is also a root. For example, 5 plus root 3 is a root, means 5 minus root 3, its conjugate will also be there. So irrational roots occurs in conjugate pairs. Same like complex roots also occurs in conjugate pairs. Right? The roots and theorems, they are, roots and zeros, they are similar. Okay. Now, let's go for question. This is all you need to know about. And yes, in some problems, it will cover the previous concept like increasing, decreasing. Those also will be covered in this. First question, if p of x is x minus 7 into x minus 1 the whole square, then when is p of x less than or equal to 0? Yes. So, if you given a graph, then you will say increasing, decreasing based on the zeros. Right? So let's see. Here also you have to find the zeros. So first draw the number line and plot your zeros. Okay, we are not going to graph this. And you have to plot it in order. So first is 7, so you can't put 7 and then 1. Okay. So first is 1 in ascending in number line order. So 1 from this, 7 from this. Now your line is divided into 3 parts. You have to check the sign in all the 3 parts. Very simple. Take any number and put that, take any number and substitute in your polynomial. For example, 7 to infinity, take any number you want. I'm taking 8, right? Or 10, whatever you can take. So, x minus 7. So, if I put 8 here, 8 minus 7 is 1, positive. We are not looking upon the number we got. We just look upon the sign we, minus or plus. And the square, whatever you square, it's going to be a positive only. So, positive into positive, it's positive. Okay. Then, 1 to 7, you pick a number. Let me take 5. So 5 minus 7, 5. This is any time it's positive, whichever thing you do. 5 minus 7 is negative. So negative into positive, negative. Okay. Now, 1 to minus infinity, take something. I'm taking 0 for easiness. So 0 minus 7. 0 square is 0. So it's completely 0, right? So let me take 0 minus 1. Sorry. 0 minus 1, it's positive 1. So it's negative, right? And we have a trick here. We will, this way you can do, but what if you have many zeros? Every time I can't plug in and do this, right? To save the time, we have a trick. So, okay, this one you should work. From your right end, find one sign. Rest everything, we can just do it in few seconds. How? So, let me find the first sign, it's positive. And now you are going to cross the 7. Okay, the factor 7. Where do you get the factor 7 from? This factor. If it has odd multiplicity means cross. That is what we learned, right? Cross means sign change. Sign will change. Okay. Then even multiplicity means bounds. No sign change. Bounds, that means no sign change. Okay. So I'm crossing 7. Its factor has odd because 1, right? Odd, so positive, you change to negative. Then I'm crossing 1 and 1 has even multiplicity. So whatever previously it's negative, it will, the same sign will come for, will be forwarded here too. Right. So this is how we can easily do this without doing substitution every time. Okay, coming to the problem. Where it's less than 0, where it's negative, from minus infinity to 7. No, that's wrong. At 1, it's 0. The polynomial becomes 0. At 7, it will become 0. So you can't write complete interval. You have to say minus infinity to 1 union 1 to 7. Okay. Exactly at 1, it's not negative, right? But yeah, they are asking for equal 0. I missed it. So equal 0 means you can do, okay, let's do in two cases then. So this for strictly less than 0, you have to do like this. Now coming to our problem, p of x less than or equal to 0 means you include the zeros too. So minus infinity to 7. And 7 should be included, means this bracket. And yeah, 1 comes in between, so it's got included. Okay. This is the difference between strict inequality and equal inequalities. Okay. Equation involved inequalities. So this is our answer. Okay. So that's it, question 1. And now moving to question number 2. A polynomial function has real zeros at x is minus 3, 0, and 2. And a pair of non-real complex conjugate zeros. And 0, x is minus 3 has multiplicity 2. 0, x equals 0 has multiplicity 3. 0, x equal to 2 has multiplicity 1. Okay, this much description is given. What is degree of the polynomial? At which x values does the graph bounce or crosses the x-axis? Okay, let's frame a polynomial kind of look. Okay, so p of x equal to, put a constant a. This will be that as a leading coefficient. Okay, then using factors, you can just frame it. X minus 3. Okay, x minus 3 is a 0 means x plus 3 is a factor. Multiplicity 2 means square. Then x equal to 0 is a factor means simply we put x and multiplicity 3 cube. X equal to 2 is a 0 means x minus 2 is a factor and multiplicity 1. Or you can just leave it. And to a non-real complex conjugate, so there will be quadratic, a quadratic thing will be there. Okay, let me put x minus alpha into x minus beta. So they are complex conjugates. Right, so how many, what is the degree of the polynomial? Degree of the polynomial, you just add up all the degrees. I mean exponents, 2 plus 3, this has 1, and then this has 1, this has 1. Okay. So if you add up everything, you will get the degree. So 2 plus 3, 5, 5 plus 3, 8. 8 is the degree of the polynomial. Now, at which x value does the graph bounce or crosses x-axis? We know bounces means even. So minus 3 has even. Okay, don't put plus 3. X plus 3 is factor. When they ask about values, you have to give just equate your factor to 0. At minus 3, it will bounce. And that's it. Only one even multiplicity. Crosses the x-axis. At x is equal to 0, it will cross because our multiplicity. At x is equal to 2, also it will cross. Okay, what happens here with this complex zeros? The complex zeros is not visible to us, right? It won't be visible in our 2D graph, right? That normal real coordinate plane graph. Okay, they will be invisible. Correct. So that's it, question 2. Now, moving to third question and last one. The polynomial function is given by h of x is this. Which are the following best describes the 0 of h? Okay, zeros of h. 1, 0 is clear. So x is equal to minus 4 is a 0. Okay, let's find factorize and break down this. X square minus 6x plus 13. Okay, so you need product is 13. Leading coefficient is 1 times and minus 6. Only one way of writing the product is 1 times 13, or yeah, negative means negative 1 times negative 13. Both of them will never give you minus 6. Okay, factorization is not possible. So immediately you have to do one thing. I hope everyone remember about your algebra 1 formula, which is quadratic formula, b square minus 4ac. Okay, if it's less than 0, you can't factorize, like it won't be a real number. It won't be a real number. So let's see here. B is the x coefficient. Minus 6 square 36. Minus 4 into a is 1. C is 30. 36 minus 52. Of course, 52 is bigger. It has a minus, right? So it will be negative. So which means if your b square minus 4ac less than 0, non-real solutions. That non-real is actually complex. Okay. So which means 1 real 0. And if you solve this, you will get 2 complex 0 and they will be conjugates. We know, right? So which, so it's the best. This is not. Yeah. H has 1 real 0 and 2 non-real zeros. They said it's 1 complex. It's not at all possible. Directly you can reject this. 3 non-real also not possible. If it's non-real, then it's always in pairs. Right? So it's option B is the best answer. Right? Yes. And now into the bonus question. A polynomial has 2 non-real zeros and 4 real zeros. Two of the real zeros have multiplicity 3 and others have multiplicity 1. What is the degree of the polynomial? So very simple concept. Yeah, solve this and give your answer in the comment box. Right? So that's it for today and this video 1.5. I will be meeting you in the next video very soon. And until then, keep learning, keep practicing. If you want to join Let's Unbound student community, scan the QR code given here. So right, let me meet you with 1.6 video. And thank you for learning with us.